What's happening, everyone? Thanks for watching the videos. I greatly appreciate it. Just a quick little update on the truck. I've got a few more things I got to get done with it. I'm gonna pull up the gas tank one more time, clean it up real nice, clean up a few things here and there. I've got a few more things I got to do on the inside of it before I go. Just basic stuff. A lot of the stuff I'll be doing on the road. Just want to give that update. I'm still looking for the first interviewee for the podcast. I think that's the right word. I don't know, interviewee, interviewer, I don't know. But I'm still looking for the first one. I think the biggest challenge right now has been figuring out the technology aspect of it. And I don't know how any of that works. It's all witchcraft, but I'm gonna have to figure something out for it. Yeah, I should be on the road this Friday or Saturday, one of the two. And I will be doing my best to get down to Arizona, Nevada, Utah area. I'd like to do some caving, some exploring, stuff like that. So I'm going to be spending the winter down there. So if you're going to be in the area, I'd love to see you, love to interview you. Kind of a rough idea of what I want on this podcast. So I'm looking for the average American that wants to tell their story, whether it's something about politics, religion, the big stuff. But I'd also like to hear about, a childhood memory that you have that was something you liked or disliked. I want to hear about a story of when, you were a teenager or when you were an adult, or just life lessons that the average everyday American wants to impart on the world. I'm so sick of hearing about influencers telling their story or, famous people telling their story. It's really mind-boggling to me that we listen to these people and worship them or, go by every single word that they say. It's to me, there's a real disconnect between those types of people and just the average, everyday, hardworking American. I think that those stories need to be told and there needs to be something said about that. And I believe that I could keep them on the right path when they tell their story and hopefully get their wisdom into the world. It's a little ironic because my podcast is called Tailgate Tales, all one word. I don't actually have a tailgate for my truck. The camper shell that I have on it doesn't allow for a tailgate. So it's a little weird, a little ironic, but I'll be able to figure it out as I go. Hopefully the bigger it gets, I could figure something out. I need to get a new bed for the truck anyways. It was in a wreck before I bought it, so it's a little tweaked. So it'd be nice to get a new bed for it. But for right now, I'm gonna get this thing up and going. I'm trying real hard, trying to figure out the technology side of it. Again, I don't know how any of that works, but I'm gonna do my best. And then also I'm gonna try to document some of the travel stuff. I'd like to be able to get videos of going into mines or going into caves and doing that because I really, really wanna get into that. As well as a lot of other action-y, adventure-y type stuff. Because I don't really take pictures when I go on my travels. And I'd like to be able to take pictures and take videos finally and hopefully get people interested in coming with and doing these things. Because I live on a very shoestring budget and, I may not have too many responsibilities, but, I'd like to be able to show that anybody could do these things. Anybody. And I really do mean that. I've, a kind of a little story I'd like to tell. When I was backpacking in India, I was living off of very little. The hostel I was staying at, I was actually cleaning it to stay at the hostel. So I didn't have to pay anything, but I had to clean every day. So, I got to experience Northern India and not have that much money to do it. While I was there, I met an Australian couple. They must have been maybe in their mid-30s. I don't remember. But they had 2 children with them. One was, under a year old, and the other one was like 3 or 4. And they were backpacking the Himalayas. And they were doing the exact same thing. They were doing the exact same thing as I was. and they had no money. They were doing this on very little money. I mean, we're talking under 200 US a month, and they were making it happen because they figured out ways to go travel. They had a desire, they had a dream, and they took their children along, and they were able to do it. You know, plane tickets cost a lot of money, but once you get past that, the world is yours. And the perfect place to start, in my opinion, is in America, because there are so many ways to live cheaply yet fulfilling lives. You'll probably see a lot of this sweater because I've had this sweater for 8 or 9 years now. I can't remember. I got it when I got out of the military, and I've worn this thing every day. I mean, this is my everyday sweater. The only thing I don't do is work on cars in it, but I've worn it for so long, and I paid $20 for it, and I still wear it. You know, I don't really care about my appearance that much. I should, but I don't. But there's ways of doing it, and I'd really like to be able to tell people good ways and help them figure out ways to go travel and go do things. On top of that, the podcast is going to be something that I'm really going to put a lot of effort into. I'd really like for everybody to, share the video, watch the video. I don't care if you subscribe or not. I'm not going to do any ads. I'm going to try my best not to do any ads. Any sponsorships that I do are going to be sponsorships to companies of people I know own those companies. I don't want to have silly ads for things that don't really matter. Stuff that I don't use. I'm not going to do Raid Shadow Legends or anything because I don't play that game. I don't play any games on my phone, to be honest. So I'd really like to get, out there and do these things. And if I know you personally, especially good friends of mine, Marines, if you have a company and you want me to give you a shout out, I am more than happy to do it. I don't need anything. I just want to get your businesses promoted on it and hopefully get a lot more people going to your guys' businesses. So we'll see what's going on. I'm going to keep documenting the next couple days on the van or on the truck. I call it a van. I lived in a van for 7 months, 8 months. It's basically a van with a truck attached to it. So I'm gonna do my best, see what we can do, and hopefully I can talk to you guys. Anybody above the age of 18 can be on the podcast. I'm okay with that. The only reason I don't want to put children on it, for obvious reasons, I don't want a child on there because not only would that be a little, I personally think that's inappropriate, but I also do look at the aspect of most children under the age of 18 have not really experienced life. I mean, their opinions matter, but they're not as substantial and there's not much weight to them compared to, let's say, an old farmer who's 70 years old or 80 years old who fought in Vietnam, or a lady who's worked at the same company for 45 years and she's worked hard to get to that point of being in management or something like that, or even just anybody. I mean, you work in fast food. I want to hear what your story is. I want to hear, about these things that you want to say that you've never had the chance to. I think a lot of people have this idea of wanting to tell their story, and we all have probably tried going to sleep at night, in our head, we're on the Joe Rogan podcast or something, and we're telling this cool story or, talking about aliens or just doing these things. I want to give you the opportunity to do that. I don't want to be too much a part of the conversation. I just want to be able to keep you on track and keep a clear mental thought and be able to enunciate what you have to say. That's the biggest thing, and that's why I want to be there. I have a few rules for it. I want to take you out of your comfort zone. So we will be doing it outside, probably behind the truck or in front of the truck. Just depends, or even on the sides. It doesn't really matter. Outside, in the elements, and just kind of not comfortable. I don't want to be comfortable. I want to get you out of your comfort zone. So if you're interested in this and I'm in your area, please get a hold of me. My Instagram is Tailgate Tales. That's TailgateTails. All one word. That's YouTube and Instagram. Message me on there if I'm in your area, and we will find a way to get you onto this podcast. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I really do. And hopefully you guys are looking forward to seeing my shenanigans in the truck, fixing it on the road. And yeah, let's do this, you guys. So hopefully I can edit this video and figure it out and figure out all this stuff, because technology is witchcraft to me. It really is. Electricity was invented by the devil. I think we all know that. But I've got to figure something out. I can't use a reel-to-reel. I can't use the crank up videos either, because I'm just not the brightest when it comes to it. So yeah, message me, hit me up. Thank you for subscribing. If you do, if you don't, that's okay too. Do what you feel is right. So yeah, peace out.